on now. Right, hi everybody, and welcome to our Wednesday webinar or Zoom. Tonight, I thought I would just do a little basic training on the new app. Well, it's not new, it's actually probably about 2 years old. An app that we just recently, over the last maybe year or 18 months, been dipping our toe in called the Nextdoor app. Anybody here using that? I know that Louise has used it. I've started to use it. Louise has used it. Janet's used it. I know that Owen, who's doing his campaigning. Kate, see your hand up there. So yep. A few of us are using it. So maybe at the end we'll see if we can share some stories of what's been happening, if you've got anything from it. But I just feel, now here's my training. So is it Nextdoor? I'll just share the slides. I just feel it's just another rod in the pond. That's it, literally. It's another rod in the pond. I wait till the Facebook, till the Zoom catches up with my PowerPoint. Tell me when you can see the PowerPoint. Not seen it yet, no? Let's try again. Right, we'll have to try again. My computer doesn't want to stay in the Zoom screen. Let's just try again. I wonder if Zoom's going to quieten down after the lockdown and we'll get a better connection. Sorry about this, guys. I've got the wee circle that buffers. Have I frozen? Have I frozen?
No.
No, you're not frozen. You're still speaking and your mouth's going in the same speed as your words.
All right, because on my screen I see I'm frozen. At the moment, my internet's playing up. I've got the blue circle and it's not allowing me to get near my controls to share the screen. So we just have to be patient. Maybe if everybody can, I wonder if I should come out. Nope. Sorry about this, guys. It's now wanting to. Can you still hear me?
Yep.
Right, at the moment I've now got a grey screen. And since I'm doing the PowerPoint, I do need mine to work. So you just have to be patient. Does anybody want to wants to close the meeting?
Oh, she dropped out.
I'm back, I think. I'm back. Yes, I'm back. You can see what I was trying to do. I was trying to log back in. It's so weird how that happens. I do apologise, but now I just said about editing, didn't I? And now I'm going to have to edit that whole bit out. Right, it's lost.
Recording start again.
Let's just share the screen. Could be because there's other people in the household on the internet tonight, maybe making it a little bit worse. But can you now see the PowerPoint screen? Yes? You can see it now?
No.
No? Well, it should be in a minute because I can see it.
Yes.
But I've actually seen it before you guys this time. Slideshow from the beginning. And right, so we'll edit that out. So we were talking about the Nextdoor app. It's probably been around for a couple of years. I've got the sorry about this, but I have got a warning on my screen and I don't want it to show in my recording. Right, it's saying a low system. Hopefully that won't affect it. Is my audio okay? Because it's telling me that my audio may be affected and it wants me to close some things down, but there's nothing I can close down. Right, so if you remember when we spoke about Nextdoor, I don't know when we mentioned it on a training just a week or two ago, a few weeks ago, I'm not sure, time passes so quickly. we did ask, and well, I personally thought it definitely was part of Facebook because of the way it was structured. Although it doesn't really look like Facebook, it kind of does look like a Facebook app, if that makes sense, with some of the things. And you'll see what I mean, what made me think, is it part of Facebook? So I did Google it. Nextdoor confirmed to be part of Facebook Audience Network. So Facebook are got their toe in the door. They didn't start it, but they are part of it. Now, it has been around. When I said there it's new, it's not new. It's kind of feel like newish to us. We've been using it off and on, playing about with it. Some people using it better than others, but we're not using it on the whole as a, like I would say, all of us. But the other thing I noticed when I was finding out who owned it, that the time of the timing of the feet of also notable for another reason. The timing of the feature. Sorry, this is the Facebook thing. I don't know which feature we're talking about, and I can't actually even read because I've got a huge warning message. Let's see if I can get rid of that. Right. So while Facebook, as we know, is massive, it's vast in the size and the scope compared with Nextdoor. Over the lockdown is what this article, I've basically took some points out of this article. Over the lockdown, it's took a bit of swing because people are looking for more local resources online, like a local joiner, a local carpet fitter, a local VBMK distributor, whatever that may be. But the public swing towards looking for more local resources has meant that Nextdoor, and probably they're saying partly due to the lockdown, it has kind of found a second life. So basically the article is saying people are using it and it's working for them. Now, I'm not going to guarantee you results. It's like every other rod in the pond, but it's there. And the thing I love about it is local. Now, what I will say is if you're setting it up for the first time and you don't want to put your address in, you don't have to. I put Muirston Water, which isn't even a street. It's just an area in Muirston, which is a mile away, because I don't want to put my street address. You can put your phone number in, but it doesn't show. But I may remove my phone number simply because the fact that now I know it's definitely connected to Facebook. I don't really want Facebook having my profile, linking them up and having my phone number. But I just wanted to point that out before I started with it. And there you can see if you open up your Nextdoor, that's what you see. It's the notifications. It's nothing like Facebook in that regard. That's more like your news feed, the little notifications that we get where we see your news feed. That is actually what you see. You can click onto it and do a post. There's different categories. You can just do a normal post. I've just been posting like a normal, like a product or about the catalogue. I haven't done many. I've been doing more for sale. But I've been posting a lot of products. There's different places where you can post your products. You can do for sale and free, and I'll show you that in a minute. You can click on general and just post, hi, my name's Lynn. I was going to post tonight, but I couldn't find a good cleaning product photograph that I wanted to use in time. I was going to post about Cleaneasy. Anybody looking for the Cleaneasy branded products? We have the cleaning products exclusive to us, because you know that if you put a post like that locally, there's going to be people looking for the Cleaneasy products. And I was going to tell a little bit about the story of Cleaneasy and VVMK and get that out locally in my own area. Lost and found. Don't know if we'll use that. And recommendations. You could recommend a product. So there you can see the different things you can do. If you just click on for a post, for example, which I can't see if the camera, you see there's up in the right hand box in a green circle there, a little square with a pen through it or a line through it. You click that and this is what will come up. And this made me think you, Kate, because Kate did a party, a Facebook event party on bank holiday, May Day bank holiday. And I'm thinking, oh, you can add an event. I don't know if we'll be able to do it the same way as we do with our Facebook, but I'm up for experimenting. So at the moment, what I'm concentrating on is just getting products on there through the for sale and free side of it. Now here's the other part. If you click the 3 dots down the bottom, it'll give you your menu and you can see groups. So you can also create a group and everything can be linked to your Facebook. Now that wee slide there's actually in the wrong place. So click for sale and free, choose a category, nothing complicated there, choose your product, and then you can go to your broader local area, your nearby neighbourhoods, or just your neighbourhood. Well, we're going to go to the broader area, aren't we? Put that up. Exactly the same as if you were posting on Facebook or Instagram or similar. You know, you popped your picture up, put the rainbow charm. I hate how you can't put 8. I know some people sell it for 7, but I'm tight. I like that we see 8 and say it's only $7.50. But as you can see, I haven't put a lot of information. I've just put the price, and I usually have added on to it safe delivery and payment, free delivery in Livingston, in my area, because Livingston's not that big for me to deliver anywhere in Livingston. And there you can see my listings there that I have just posted through that buy and sell. Where is it? That for sale and free. So they'll come up and you'll just start to get a bigger and bigger. I see I've just put that there twice. Your products will get bigger. You can just keep on adding them and your listings will always be there as your listings, which I love about that, because you can just gradually add products and have a huge listing of products. And then let's get this item sold. Once you've posted it, you can share it. You can copy the link and share it on your Instagram, share it on your Facebook, share it in an email, share it in a WhatsApp, share it if you want. At that particular moment, what I chose to do is just to skip it at the moment, because we use our Facebook. We're already putting these products in our own manner, and I haven't decided how best I want to use that. But definitely the link for email, the link for WhatsApp, the link for Messenger, you know, it's a great wee link for your local customers and prospecting, because this is just localized to you. So you think, well, that's maybe more for selling product, but I mean, we always teach in the business, start building your team locally and then expand from there. Because if you build a business locally, you can meet them for a coffee easier, you can do trainings easier, you can build a relationship. And look at this, this looks exactly the same as the Marketplace app, doesn't it, practically? Now my goal is to make sure the first 4 adverts are always mine, because up until today in my local area, the first ads at the top were all mine, and I was really disappointed to find out that somebody else had been putting stuff up. How dare they? How dare they? And I wasn't at the top. So there is a part where people can go in. I'm going to show you a few things, just basically how you can tag them and what have you. But now I'm going to just go on to very quickly groups. There's nothing new here tonight or complicated. I thought I would just cover it, just so you could see how things work and maybe get some dialogue going and see if you feel it is going to be a useful tool. As far as I'm concerned, from my point of view, I love the fact that I can use this to get Viva MK and the products and the link in my own area to the people who don't buy for Viva MK but are still looking for Clean Easy. We can sell the Viva MK brand. We can promote that we also have the Clean Easy, which we might eventually take over, where Viva MK products might eventually replace everything. But short term, we know people are looking for them. And also then we can use that to say, by the way, I'm looking for people in the area. I have also put prospecting adverts up. Somebody asked how to keep cats from pooing in her garden, though she called it eggs, leave eggs. So that caused a lot of stupid comments on a post when I was trying to sell my cat and dog repellent, which I posted too. So I just said, try this. I didn't say it was mine. I didn't say buy for me. I didn't say here's my group. I just said, why don't you try this, and put a picture of the cat and dog repellent. We used to have a scaredy cat that worked really well. So that you click more, and this is where you get all these things that you can see in front of you. And there you can see groups. So popular groups near you. Now, this is where I know in my area anyway, Nextdoor is definitely in its infancy in Livingston, West Lothian, because I think I have only seen one other group with 7 members. So this is going to be quite interesting, because I'm going to make it my goal over the next few weeks. I'm going to make targets for me personally, just personally, and this is maybe something you'd like to do. I'm personally going to post prospecting, sponsoring adverts. I'm going to continue to post products on the buy and sell, but I'm also going to add the same products into my group, because eventually I want to be inviting people into my group. I think in time the 2 groups, the Facebook and the Nextdoor, will just come completely together once Facebook get in there. But for the now, it isn't. So there's me, Viva MK, work from home, help the neighbourhood with 7, and the next one is mine. Don't see what you're looking for. Now that is here, so you can see, don't see there. You just scroll up, don't see what you're looking for, start your own group. Dead easy. It's in 5 steps, and it goes through them: step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. Really simple, much more easier than training on the Facebook. And as far as I know, we don't have to edit our photos yet. And I will talk about how the lack of policing is perhaps a bit of a problem. Right, kick things off with a hello. So welcome to the group. You can put whatever you want in there. I just put welcome to my Viva MK shopping group. Here we have a huge range of products for the household, the garden, best cleaning products on the market, including the famous Clean Easy branded products, fantastic economical makeup, which I need to go and edit because I've not put as much there as I'd like to, gifts, personalized, whatever you want to put there. You might even put PS, I'm also looking for people that want to make money. This is your welcome to the group, and it appears there at the top of your group. So that's your welcome. It probably sits at the top of the group the whole time, I don't know, but it was, so now you can see my address, Muirston Water Path. It is that, it's a path by the water with no houses. Right, so that's some cleaning products in the market, a bit about Clean Easy. So that's your, the next one is to add a cover photograph. If you're new and watching this video, speak to your sponsor if you haven't set up a Facebook group and you don't know how to do a cover photograph, but it's just any pic collage, and just pop some nice photographs, bring them together nicely and pop it up save it as a photograph, but we can do that one-to-one. Add a cover photograph, it attracts more people, stand out for the crowd. Share the group. When you click on share the group, it says help neighbours find you with tagging the group. Now you can't see all the tags there, and it's not really fantastic to choose for, and I have only been able to get 3. So I did health, gardening, and home improvement, because if you're looking at home improvement, usually you buy nice things for your home at the same time. And again, I think this is, as the first slide said, it's kind of, it came into its own. And the article that I read was saying possibly because of the lockdown, but also because people are looking, they love Facebook, but it's a massive medium. It's massive. This condenser is more personalized. If you don't like the chatter, you're going to hate this. If you hate the chatter on Facebook, you're going to hate this even more, because it's, hi, my name's Mary. Sorry, Mary. Not seen Mary on tonight, but she'll probably be on at some point or see the video. Hiya, Mary. Hi, my name's Mary. I've just moved into Muirston Waters. I work in a Chinese takeaway and 50. Do you know what I mean? It's got a lot of that on it. There's a lot of social. It's much, much, much more geared up to social and the neighbourhood thing. And I can see people like Owen, for example, working this really well. But also for your customers, you can, if your customers aren't on Facebook, maybe you can find them on here. It's just somewhere else. So you can tag them to attract more people to your group. And then to finish it, you just post it onto your news feed. That bit there, check out my new group, is what they say. And then that must be what they say as well. You can see I've never added to it. You can add a location if you want, which I really don't see the point in, because I'm promoting it to the whole of Livingston, and it's only Livingston and nearby areas that you can actually promote it to. And that's it. You know, you've got your cover, you can put your products up there, post, poll, or event. Just click that little green button if you want to post in your group. You click that little green circle rather with the box in it, and that's what you'll see. Post, poll. Polls are great. You know, you could do a poll on cleaning difficulties, but at the moment my group's empty and I'm not inviting you in. That's the other good thing about this one. We can't go and bulk it up with our Facebook pals. We love you dearly, but thank you for joining our groups when we were growing them. But we can't do that unless you've got loads of people in your team locally. But we don't want to. You want to build up your name associated with Viva MK. It's an opportunity to do it locally. It might work great, it might not, but you know, I personally have a good gut feeling that, you know, I feel it'd be good for solidifying the Viva MK name locally. And yeah, we might compare it to Cleaneasy, because Cleaneasy, we were known for door-to-door catalogue, and I want them to know we have a much better one here, but we still have these old products that they loved that they used to could get for Cleaneasy. So just to marry them together, it's up to you how you do it. That works for me. When I'm doing my 3-foot rule, I will immediately say, have you heard of Cleaneasy? Do you know what I mean? And then I'll explain about the asset strip and blah, 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 and get round to Viva MK. And they all know it means Forever My Cleaneasy. That's just the way I present it. But the way you present it's entirely up to you. But it's fantastic for local selling and local sponsoring, in my opinion. There's a couple of wee posts that look nice. I love that Tree Life candle holder. I think that's going to be an amazing seller. Some lovely products in the You and Yours catalogue. So that's it. It's a very short training. Next door, post products directly onto the site. You can post flip books, have a wee look at my catalogue. You can respond to people, you can post the opportunity, you can share your business and the products, and you can invite people to join your group over a period of time. So I'm going to do all I'm going to do, and I think this is a good idea for anybody who wants to dip their toe in. I know that a lot of you are already using it, and I mean, I know Louise mentioned, I won't say anything because I'm pretty sure she mentioned she's had results for that. Consistent activities daily. I'm going to decide how many products I'm putting in my group, how many products I'm going to post, because at the moment I just go in and post loads of products and then drift away and go back 2 days later. And you know that doesn't work. I know that doesn't work. We all know that doesn't work. It's a consistent thing. So I'm going to put X amount of products in my group onto the selling forum, which is fantastic. It's like a complete other wee marketplace there. And think about it, if they're on Nextdoor and they're on Facebook and they see you on Facebook, your product, and they see the product twice, and then they see it on Nextdoor for somebody local, they're going to come to you. So it's got loads of pros there, but I'm not going to say it's going to be massive, but you know, anything where we can speak to people. If you said we could have got things like this 30 years ago, would there been all having kittens or laying eggs? Not what the cat does. But I personally think it's a good opportunity. And in that last slide, I wanted to put Owen's little competition thing. But we'll talk about that in a wee minute. But I'll keep the slides open just now, just because when I close the slides, I go from training mode into relaxed mode, and I forget to say some of the things that was on my mind. And for example, there is one thing. Yes, this is the last thing I wanted to talk about. We would think it's not a good thing. It's a good thing that it's not got the Facebook police on your back. There's no the restriction for our small businesses having to watch how many things we post. they may introduce that. It may happen in time, but they don't seem to be the restrictions. And unfortunately, it was kind of negative, because the reason I know the restrictions aren't there is it's not got the Facebook clamp down on things like bully comments, or, you know, maybe a racist comment or something that somebody shouldn't post. It's not policed in that manner. So I just thought, just to make you aware, it's not got the same as the Facebook police. But from our point of view, from a business point of view, in Viva MK, that's a pretty good thing. Right, any questions? It's pretty straightforward. Right, Jane, and then Janet. Jane first, the two Jans.
Well, they don't have any groups. They can't let me join from my postcode.
No, I don't have any. That's what I'm telling you. I only have one group, and I've not joined it. What I'm talking about is making your own groups. I've made my own groups, and I'm
Well,
going.
that's what I thought, but it said, right, okay, so there's something.
Yeah, there will be. I mean, I think it'll be interesting to find out actually for somebody when Janet speaks in a minute, because she's in a much more built up area. But in our rural areas up here in Scotland, just so you guys understand the geography, I don't think you're going to get. I think it's going to take time to build, Jane. I think we're actually ahead of the game building our groups.
It's not giving me the opportunity to, sorry.
Or to create a group.
To create, that's right.
Right, let me look into that, because it will.
I opened it, yeah, sorry, can I just very quickly,
Can I ask you just to go to the three dots at the bottom on the right? She said shite on a trainer.
No, because I've lost it altogether now.
Right, I'll come back to you once you find it.
Yeah,
That's
no,
a good one.
fine.
That's a very good question. Or you find it?
No, go to Janet.
Well, what I'll say, just to finish it, I think where you find it, Jane, is with my iPhone, all the instructions are down the bottom. With an Android, they're usually up the top. I don't know if it's the same with the next door, but at the very end, there's three little dots. And if you click on the three little dots, it says more, and it says Muirston Help Map, and then it goes neighbourhood, and then it's got directories below that, neighbours, groups, bookmarks, settings, and help. So you could be the first to set up a group. Janet.
Right. I don't know what happened with mine, but I put on the Woodstone dog planter when they first came out. And all I put was can be used indoors and outdoors. It would make a great gift, or you might like to treat yourself. I got a message from somebody saying, hi, I'm sorry, but you are not allowed to advertise any business products on the for sale pages of Nextdoor as it breaches the guidelines. So please remove the post. Thanks, Julie, Nextdoor lead. So I marked it as sold, and I've not heard anything back from that. But I did actually.
Like a troll, rather than.
That sounds like what we used to say the Facebook groups Gestapo, when they used to say no clean easy, no businesses, and we just used to ignore them and carry on.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
It doesn't sound as though it came from Nextdoor, does it, Louise? It came from somebody, because remember I said the bad thing about it at the end there, it's no policed, so there might be the odd troll. Also, what I've noticed, if a cat or a dog has been injured, they don't go and really, they don't put it diplomatically. They'll just put dead dog at the end of Clement Rise, brown and white. It's horrifying. It's absolutely, that's horrifying. But I think that's
what's even worse is there was a post on mine. Now mine is very quiet. My immediate area is very quiet. It told me that when I joined it, so I had to expand out to the local surrounding areas kind of thing. So there's about 14 of them, but some of them are 10 miles away. So I'm not going 10 miles with catalogues and stuff like that. I'd be posting orders out of that distance. But what actually horrified me was when you get the chance to introduce yourself, which I haven't done yet, but there was an introduction post, and it was, my name's Aaron, I live in this area of East Kilbride, I'm 13, I go to such and such a school, and I've lived here for 5 years. And I thought, oh my God,
Oh
Now,
my
I
God,
know,
that's-
I know that on Facebook you're allowed to have a Facebook account when you're 13, but only your friends on Facebook would be seeing what you post. Now this is going to 14 local areas, as far as I know, that this kid who's
And it-
13 has said where he lives and where he goes to school.
address, because most people.
Yeah, I mean, mine's listed with my street, but not the street number.
Well,
But-
I will say, we'll go back to Janet's wee one in a wee minute, but what I will say is, that's why I said you don't have to put your address in. There's no way in this earth am I putting my address on any social media.
Yep.
I don't even have it on Facebook, even although they don't see it. And I'm now going to take my phone number off. I'm going to decide about Nextdoor. I probably will take my phone number, because if it's Facebook connected and Facebook get more involved, then we'll get all the Facebook headaches. And right now, this is like a brand new thing that we can only build in our own area. It's like a brand new mini version of Facebook. And, you know, some people will work it and it'll work really well for them. And again, some areas will be quieter, some will be busier. I would say Scotland's probably at a slightly disadvantage because we're little pockets and we're
It's
maybe
very new just now, isn't
we're
it?
probably not such a sociable breed of folk on the social media. We like the face-to-face. But the answer, just to answer that, Janet, before you ask the next thing you put your finger up for, that sounds like just a Joe Blogs from the site, just taking it upon themselves to do what Louise said there, the Facebook police, the Nextdoor police.
It's actually full of businesses. It's full of plumbers and joiners and hairdressers and everything.
They
can't say we can't sell a product.
That's what you should have said. It's fully businesses. It's for local businesses. I'm not a big business. I'm a local small business. Anyway, Janet, you had another question or a point.
No, the other point was what has worked for me is when I introduced myself, I said that Steve and I used to be Clean Easy distributors, and if anybody was interested in having a look at a catalogue, we're working with a new company, Viva MK, and I picked up 4 leads from that. There was only one that didn't like the catalogue. All the other 3 have ordered, and 2 of them have ordered twice. So that is a definite plus as far as I'm concerned, because they are exceedingly local.
They are exceedingly local, because even
that's really good that you have a more localized hub there than
I suppose again in Scotland, I've got a few, like when I noticed that they've gave me a list in my outer area, I've not been able to select that list. They've just given it to me, this list. I'll take a screenshot of it. I take loads of screenshots, but then I send them to myself on Messenger, and I lose them because I keep shutting down. But that's a great story. Anybody else got another great story to share? Louise, I know you've been using it more than me or most, and I know Owen's been using it. Owen's doing he's, just so you know, he's treading he's doing the voting campaigning thing. He's very involved with that. I've seen his wee videos. Bless.
I mean, Owen's used it, I've used it, Claire's used it, and obviously the 3 of us are all within a sort of 4 mile radius. Owen's probably a wee bit further away, so he's the furthest away point. But we've all used it. We've all done a mixture. We've put up like a catalogue post offering to like put a catalogue to the door if they ask, which we've all had responses to. I think Owen's sold on it. I've sold on it as well. I've sold the garden hose on it. That's all I've advertised on it though as yet. I haven't advertised loads. I just it's just time for me at the minute just now, to be honest.
I sold on it tonight, actually, just before the Zoom. The first thing I posted on it was free cardboard boxes, because I always put them on Facebook groups and stuff, right? So I've had boxes picked up at the beginning of the week, and I've put more on tonight as well. But also put on a few items from my mystery boxes on Monday night after my party. And I've sold somebody's just asked me for a payment link tonight for a duvet set that I put on it. So so that's but I've maybe got 4 or 5 things on it so far, but I will do more. But obviously, you know, that's just the start. So
I'll maybe need to stick my boxes on. I've just stuck them in my Facebook group tonight.
yeah, they'll go. They'll definitely go.
Say that again, please. Sorry, because I was talking and I never heard you.
Sorry, I'm just saying I'll maybe put my cardboard boxes on there because I popped them into my group tonight actually. Just because I had such a big delivery with mystery boxes and stuff. So
mystery boxes are a great bargain. But actually, Kate, I was thinking about you because the top post, I could open up my PowerPoint if you didn't believe me, and my notifications on my training tonight was free cardboard boxes. I have just moved to East Calder, and so I've got loads of free cardboard boxes. I thought, okay.
And my free cardboard boxes always accidentally have a catalogue that I forgot to remove, and the odd business card and an advert from online shop and stuff like that. So I've always get rid of my boxes on Facebook, but I'm just trying it on Nextdoor just now, just to get a more immediate response.
Just to get more known. Which is the reason. I mean, I will be honest with you. People are very, very, very trusting. You know, for to put their name and address and all these details and come on a site and say, hi, I'm Joan and I've just moved into Clement Rise this week. And there's no way that I would be putting my precise location on anything.
I said that to Kate the other day, didn't I? When we met for a coffee, there was quite a few couples local to me, and this is, I know Kate's example there's just been a younger boy, but these were older people, and again,
same thing.
It's the same thing. They're coming on and they're telling you their life story. It was like, oh, I'm Jimmy and me and my wife Margaret have lived at 37, blah blah blah, for 50 odd years, and XYZ, and it just makes you feel a wee bit uneasy, and you want them to go.
It's quite good for It's quite good for Crime Watch though, because there was one on the other night about somebody in Castlemilk, which is a big estate near me. It's quite notorious for high levels of crime and stuff, which is quite unfair because there's nearly everybody that lives there is lovely. But this person had posted and said there's 3 kids, they're aged about 12, they're in my street, they're kicking over bins, 2 of them are dark haired, one's a redhead. If you're the parent of one of these kids, come and get them. Now this was followed by about 85 comments of people saying, oh, they've just put something through a pensioner's door and they've done, so that nobody thought about phoning the police. They were just all following each other on this thread about what these kids were doing. Well,
I had a thread with that. I never read it. I must go and have a wee look.
Oh, I didn't read it all, but
no, but I just seen like their kids doing it. They're lighting fires, doing it the woods, and they described them and what have you. Yeah, but we're not naive. But that's why I did say to you at the end of the training. That's why I kept the slides up so I didn't forget to say it. It's not policed in the same way as Facebook.
No, that's right.
And you would be absolutely mental to put your right address. I mean, there's going to be I was actually, this is me being a bit naughty, but I was just thinking, if you put Jim White, Falkirk, could he open one next door in Falkirk and you could message you could be posting in Falkirk under a different name and saying you live in Falkirk? Because how do they know where you live?
I tried to put my street in without the number and it wouldn't accept it. And I tried to put in the kind of distributor road round our estate, which has no houses on it, but all the streets lead off it kind of thing. I tried to put that street in and it wouldn't let me do that either. So I had to put my street in with my house number.
Go on to locations and just change location. Because I put mine, because I didn't think I had any choice. I put my address, but I did know that people couldn't see it. But I'm still not liking that. Do you know what I mean?
I know.
Like my address being there. So what I did is, because it does say your area, so it might say Muirston or Dedridge or West Calder or whatever. That's still more precise than I want anybody to know. Or like Dedridge, it's only wee area. Ladybell, Muirston, they're wee areas. So that's why I changed it to Muirston Waters. So it allowed me to do it after the event. So
I'll try that then.
It sounds as though this might be negative, but I think it's really important if we're going to be promoting this to our team to, use it, or if we think it works, that we need to have, like, then you put your address in, and if you put your address in, go straight on and change the location as soon as it's set up. Because once it's set up, Muirston Water came up as a choice for me, Kate.
Right.
So
Right.
maybe go on, and
Yeah.
maybe you could give me feedback if that works for
Well.
you, by the way.
Yep.
These are some great stories. Any more questions or stories? Well, what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do is just basically, I think I'll make a target. What do you think is a good target? 10 products a day. It literally takes less time to put products here than it does on Facebook, because you're not thinking about, is that edited? Where's my edited folder? You can just fire it up straight for the albums. You don't have to worry at the moment about them being edited. You know, it is really, really quick to post them, but it's not going to the same market audience as what Facebook does on the marketplace and 20 other groups. But it's going to a condensed audience, and like Janet's story, like Louise's team stories, like Kate's stories for the sales that have came for them, and I would go in for that angle. I think we've probably all got that mental thought. That's a good idea to say, I used to be a Clean Easy distributor. If you're looking for the Clean Easy type products, we've got them and much more. It's unbelievable. You know, this is the brand new Clean Easy. If you like, this is a much bigger, better version, and it really is. I mean, the product range is second to none. Hiya, Deb. I never seen you at the beginning. I never said hi, so hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Good to see you. I hate no saying hi to people. Any other questions or anything you want to add? Kate, I'll keep looking at your hairdo. Is this what everybody's going to be like when I see them? I'm going to think, oh my God, they look at me.
It was about 3 weeks ago.
All done and all bobbed. That looks lovely.
I must have been sitting in the dark last week.
You must have been in the dark. I know, like,
Do you want to? Are you ready to go to Owen's new Bullseye game?
all right, that's what I'm going to finish with the Bullseye game.
Yep.
I haven't got it on slide, but Kate, have you got the rules in front of you?
Well, hold on, I'll just get his pictures
I
up.
could get them, but it's pretty small. Well, it is posted in the Rhino group already, but the rules aren't posted yet, I don't think. So we'll post the rules.
Yeah. So
And,
basically, all he's basically
Kate,
done
you
is.
understand it better than me.
Yeah, well, I don't know whether there's much to understand, but basically he's allocated points to 20 different activities for this game. It's a Bullseye game, and there's 180 points on a dartboard apparently. And basically the aim of this game is to get as close to 180 points as you can before now I said the end of the period, and he said the recognition webinar, which would probably be the Friday. Okay. So either or, you can decide that. So first of all, there would be 50 points if you recruit a new distributor into your team and they place an order and they place a first order. And then everything else is allocated points number 1 to 20 on the dartboard. So you get 1 point if you sell a washing machine cleaner. You get 7 points if you post some interactive posts on your group. You get 16 points if you post a positive quote. 19 points for selling a flat head mop and bucket, 20 points for selling a peacock. So the good thing about this one is it isn't all sales, it's all about rowing the boat with both oars. So it's about, you know, doing something to generate some interaction on your group or selling a particular product, and there's plenty of products on the thing, but it isn't all products this time. There's sponsoring people, there's a positive quote, there's interactive posts and everything like that. He's just basically thought it out really well. As long as I don't win a speedboat, I'll be quite happy.
We don't have
Remember, Bullseye's catchphrase was always, look at what you could have won. So I definitely don't want a speedboat.
He's got a great wee brain on him there, isn't he?
Yeah. So if there's an ongoing post on the Rhino group, and I'll put one on my Team Velocity group as well, that we can keep every time you generate more points, you can just put another comment on the post and stuff.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. If you keep the comments on the post, so we'll have it pinned.
And then just add, every time you get more points, you can add it onto the post.
Yeah, so I've got points. I've got because that'll keep the going. I mean, this young lad's amazing. He's out there. I've seen videos. I don't even know which party he's working for. I'll say that to be politically correct, and I don't care. I still loved his video because I see him walking down the streets doing his wee videos. He's doing videos on his Facebook stories.
Yep.
So we need to get more. I mean, I've noticed we can do more and more videos, and the videos are getting longer and longer. I remember with the stories, they used to be really short, but now that's quite a long wee video, and I'm like loving it. Good on you. But what a great brain. Say, Louise or Kate, whoever speaks to him first personally, tell him that he's a wee superstar, and thank you so much. His ideas are fantastic. I'll post that into the Rhino group. It's just for fun. That's all it's for. It's just for fun.
Usually the winner gets to close the meeting or something. That's
no, that's a loser, because most people, when I say, who wants to close the meeting? No, me. No, well, that wasn't a very good, that was not a good sight of me in this light. So, any questions about Nextdoor? Any feedback on Nextdoor? Let's just share the stories. I know Janet's got some great success stories. Louise has had success. Kate, Owen.
Yep. And I had a party this week as well.
Oh, right. Before we go, then that's a good way to close the meeting, because I'm trying to close on time, especially since my granddaughter can't go to bed, the youngest one, until I finish the Zoom. When it's 9:30, and she's usually in bed a lot earlier than this. But that's a good way to close the meeting. But what I was going to say, just post your success stories about the Nextdoor, just so that the people that we're introducing it to can see that this is actually working, because it was great tonight to hear the stories for Janet and Louise and Kate, what they've actually achieved from it. So that's good, because I've had nothing from it yet. Do you know what I mean? But I haven't worked it properly. Make sure that you just take my wee tip, what I'm going to do, decide how many products you're going to post today, how many posts you're going to do in the business opportunity. You know, what are your posts going to be? Just have it planned, have it structured. It'll take 5 or 10 minutes out of the day. It doesn't take a lot of time. You're not going to be inundated, but just think about that. This is our old, clean, easy, tromping ground where we can get that message across to them over a period of time. That's what I love about it. So I'm going to finish with Kate, who's decided to volunteer herself to close the meeting. But before she closes the meeting, she had a party. So for the people who don't know about party, you've got to explain a wee bit extra. But she had a Facebook party on Monday. Most of you know, but some people watching the video just give you pointers of what a party is and how you did it and how you got on.
Okay, right, very quickly then. I've done a couple of joint parties with Louise and Trisha and Mary, which had various degrees of success depending on how we did it and what Facebook were throwing at us at that particular time. And I know girls, you'll agree with that. But I had only ever done probably 1 or maybe 2 myself, and I thought I had these fantastic opportunity with these mystery boxes that I thought I've got some stock here. I've actually got it physically in my hand, various price values and stuff like that, but it was all stuff I had here, and I thought, right, I'll photograph some of this up into little bundles. I'll do some special offers. I'm aiming to get my money back for what I spent on these mystery boxes and get some extra sales as well. So I'll also incorporate some current stock as well. So I'll put a little bundle on of stuff that's in the mystery box, but I'll add on something that I would need to order for the customer and that kind of thing, so that I'm getting fresh sales as well. So I decided I would do it on Bank Holiday Monday. And I didn't decide until Saturday night that I was going to do it. So I tried to set the party up with my phone, and I was getting a message say every time I tried to set it up for Monday night at 8, it kept telling me the date I was trying to set it up was in the past. And I spoke to Louise about it, and she made suggestions and stuff, spoke to Lynn about it, so did she. And eventually I thought, none of this is working, I'll try and do it on my PC. The minute I did it on my PC, that was fine, and all I had to do was set it up. And I set it up in my group. And I assumed that setting it up in my group, I could only invite the people in my group who are friends of mine. So that's the way I did it. That's the way I thought it was going to work, etc., etc. But then I started getting people messaging me who are not friends of mine saying, I'm invited to your event Monday night. What's it all about? And I thought, well, it must have, I don't know how it's happened, but it must have posted itself in the group and people have seen it, and that's all okay. So I put a post on saying, please come and join us on Monday evening for a big clearance sale. What did I call it? Mayday Madness clearance sale Monday night. Come and grab a bargain. I put a couple of posts on the next day to remind people, from Louise's training, always put something on to make people aware that it's on. And the people that have said they're coming or maybe coming are going to see that definitely. And it also keeps the post boosted to the top of your group page as well. So started the party, and on Sunday and Monday, I spent a little bit of time preparing posts in advance. And all I did was I took some photographs. I messaged myself with all the posts because I knew that I didn't have time to write them all, as the party was in progress. So I wrote all the posts, sent them to myself on my phone by messenger. And then on the night, started the party at 8 o'clock. Considered going live, decided not to because I thought it's just going to be too busy. I'm just going to get stressed if I do that. So I wrote a welcome post in advance. I had a couple of interactive posts for people to keep coming back and checking in and commenting. And again, following advice that Louise has used before, I had a point system for people who liked a post, commented on a post or placed an order, with a prize draw for everybody who ordered, and a prize at the end for the person that accumulated the most points. And it was very busy. I think I wrote about 25 posts in advance for a 2-hour party, and I thought I probably won't get all of these posted, but I had all of them posted with half an hour to go, and I had to write some more just to keep the interest going. But it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I sold quite a few things out my mystery boxes. I sold £90 worth of stuff in 2 hours, which I had 3 mystery boxes I'd paid £60 for. So I made my money back and a bit more, and I'm still getting orders coming in. So that was £90 on the night. So I was very apprehensive about how it would go. I thought worst case scenario, nobody comes to it, nobody comments, nobody buys, but I had my first order within 15-20 minutes.
Excellent.
And and because it was all stuff that I maybe had 1 of or 2 of, I could have sold more of some of the things if I had them, but they're out of stock now. So I was really pleased. I got my money back for those 3 mystery boxes, and that was what I had set out to do, and some more sales in between. So I'll do all the prize draws once the stuff's all delivered and paid for. I'll do the prize draws then, and also total up all the likes and comments and everything. So I really enjoyed it. It was good. If you haven't done one before, it's worth doing.
You were just good.
I think maybe because you've done that on a bank holiday as well. That was a good
I think
idea.
so too. I think it was, yeah.
Aye.
And there's another one. There's another double
Bank
bank holiday
holiday
at the end of the
one.
month. There's a Friday, Monday as well. So, yeah. So I was really pleased because there might have been a slow night in the telly. And to begin with, I thought I would do it on Sunday night. And then I thought, oh no, it's 9 o'clock on Sunday night. Last episode of Line of Duty. And all
It's
the
always
activity
been
would be far more.
exciting.
Well, actually, Sunday's actually a better day for getting a response.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I do in my other business, I do a lot of work for Slimming World,
Mhm.
and they've done a research into it.
Mhm.
So, excuse me, so they get more response when somebody gets something through the door on a Sunday.
Is that right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Because
when we do-
Sunday, usually by the time if you do your fun things through the day, when we now can do fun things, family things, or you come home, you have your Sunday dinner, the people lounge about and do nothing.
Yep.
I don't know where it, as I say, when we start campaigns for them, they ask us to start them on a Sunday.
I think Sunday's a good night as well, but they watch the Line of Duty, Frank.
Maybe we put them out during the day. Christ,
I
I'm not
nearly
putting-
did. I nearly did it on the Sunday.
I'm not putting leaflets out at 9 o'clock at night. Come on.
I don't watch telly. That's the absolute.
I've never seen an episode of Line of Duty, so you all need to tell me
And
about
I've not seen the Grey things, whatever it's called, the Grey things. What's it called, Mr. Grey? And I've not
Yes.
seen that other one, the Thrones thing. I've not seen any of them.
it. No.
I watch my YouTube murders or I listen to Jim.
Don't put that out in next door.
Next door. This is probably why I'm so paranoid about next door. You know, people like Nat Wayne at 13, but God almighty, if Grace or Rosie did that, the phone, the wrist would be cut off and they'd never get a phone back. There's no way. That's just, it's scary stuff. It's scary stuff. But, you know, just for poor Jeff, I can see him in agony. We're nearly finished, Jeff. for the benefit of people who want to maybe have a party and don't know, Kate just rattled through a few wee ideas there. There are great trainings on every webinar gets put onto a webinar playlist. So the playlist there, if you want the playlist, just ask me for it. Keep it bookmarked because all the new ones gone there. They heard Kate more than once referring to Louise's trainings. Maybe over the next few weeks we'll talk Louise nicely into doing another wee fresh training for us because it changes all the time.
I think one of the things that made me quite apprehensive about doing it was on one occasion we had done a joint party and it wasn't being seen, and for that reason I was a wee bit nervous about doing it. But the worst thing that can happen is that I sit there posting away to myself for 2 hours and it's not, it's just grabbing the bull by the horns really, and Facebook rules change all the time. So I think we did 3. And the first one that was really good, the third one was okay, but the one in the middle was really, really strange. Do you remember it, Louise and Trisha?
But what you've got to remember though is there's a massive difference between a party in your own group.
Yes.
Doing a public party like what we did.
Yeah.
Their party was completely public, and makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Behind Facebook.
Mm-hmm. And also Facebook seemed to have a bit of a problem with 4 people posting in the party as well at one point. Not the first time they didn't, the last time they didn't, but the time in the middle they were, it was, and they were slowing us all down as well because we're all trying to comment on each other's posts and look at the, sort of keep a track of sales and stuff. So,
well, that was a great wee story for us. Thanks very much, Kate. Hopefully next week we'll have some new trainers for you. And I've got a couple of wee ideas. And Jeff's just had to go for. I seen he was in agony. I'm just going to close the meeting tonight because I have to make sure that I have to get that little baby Belle into her bed. Thank you so much for the webinar tonight. This is us halfway through the period already. You are all doing absolutely fantastic. Please share any success stories in the A team. If you've got a new person who's doing really well, share the success with us. If your next door is doing well, just because it's old hat to you, it's new hat to the people in the group and they want to see it. And so thanks very much for sharing that on the groups and continuing to do so. We will see you all next Wednesday, even if there is another Zoom, because as I say, we can't keep changing them. Good night, Richard, Raymond. Good night. The name's upside down. Good night, Raymond.
I'm having a laugh here because my phone's just pinged with an email. And of course you get all these email notifications for next door as well, so you might want to use an email address you don't use for anything else, so you can ignore it. But this one that keeps coming up to the top of my feed is somebody posting on my next door saying, Jackie, is this your cat? And they've been asking Jackie if this was her cat for the last 2 days, and Jackie told them 2 days ago it wasn't their cat, but this keeps going up to the top of the news feed. So
it's not as active, but it's clearly with the post that I read on the internet today, clearly it's starting to do a slightly better. Jane's right. That's a good hint. I could see Jane going like this, and that's because she was trying to hold a yawn in. I could tell she was really shattered. Sorry, my goal is to finish at 9th at most an hour. We went slightly over, but we'll see you all next Wednesday. See you all next Wednesday.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. See you later. See you later.